to the class today. We'll continue the same chapter, surface chemistry, and now we'll do properties of colloidal solution. First property is only few properties you have to do, not all. So first is Brownian movement. You are familiar with this Brownian movement. This is zigzag motion of colloidal particle that could be observed only under ultra microscope. And since this is motion of the particle, that's why it is also called kinetic property or mechanical property. The second property is Tyndall effect. This is very important, quite often asked in board. So Tyndall effect, that is optical property, is concerned to the light, so it is optical property. So as you can see that only these points you have to cover in Tyndall effect. So that is what? When intense converging beam of light, this is beam of light, this is converging, okay, meeting to one point. Converging beam of light is passed through a sol. If the sol is kept here and this beam of light is passed and the sol is kept in dark. So kept in dark, the path of the beam gets illuminated. Dark hai to dikhega nahi, but this portion is not visible, but this portion which is passing through the sol, this is all sol here, then this part is visible as a blue color, since the path of the beam gets illuminated with a bluish light, and this bluish light we can see here, this part, and so this effect is called Tyndall effect, and it is because of the scattering of your light by the sol particle, and that's why the path is illuminated. And okay, now third property, coagulation of fluctuation, that is clotting, thickening. The stability of a sol is due to the charge present on colloidal particles. This is important. The stability is due to the charge present on the colloidal particles, and all the colloidal particles are same, so their charges are similar. So sol particles repel one another, similar charges, so they repel one another, and so they are unable to combine. So is therefore what will happen? They do not combine together, so their size is maintained between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer, and coagulation is not taking place. If the charge on colloidal particle is destroyed, if a charge, as I said, you by any means, the charge you are balancing or neutralizing, so the charge is destroyed, they are free to come nearer and grow in size. It means what? If charge is removed from the colloidal particle, they will stick together and the size will grow big, and the thickening, that is precipitate, will be formed, and this thickening formation of the precipitate, that is called coagulation. So when they become here, they are free to come nearer, and so they grow in size. Since they are growing in size, so they become sufficiently large, they become so large that they are precipitated, and this precipitation is called coagulation. So this is done. How can we destroy the charge? If we add electrolyte, and electrolyte is added in substantial amount to neutralize the opposite charge, and so accordingly calculated amount, what kind of this charge we want, that only, not like that any charge particle you can add. So substantial amount, required site amount of this electrolyte is added, and when that is added, what happens? The charge on the colloidal particle is neutralized. So when it is neutralized, then repulsion is no more acting there, and so they can come close to each other, and the size of the particle will grow bigger, and they are coagulated, and this coagulation is the phenomena of precipitation of a colloidal solution on addition of an electrolyte. When you add an electrolyte, precipitation is taking place, thickening is taking place, undissolved substances are formed, then the phenomena is coagulation. So Hardy-Schulze rule, this is important. He found Hardy-Schulze that if you are adding an electrolyte from outside which is having opposite charge, if the colloidal particle is having positive charge and electrolyte you are adding is having negative charge, then it is neutralizing. So it's there that the greater the valency, if the valency of the positive charge suppose is +1 and negative charge is -2, that is what it means. The greater the valency of oppositely charged ion of the electrolyte added to a salt, the faster is the coagulation. So same charge is not added, bulky little greater charger valency elements are added, ions are added, and so that can speed up the coagulation. So important is faster and greater the valency of electrolyte added. So this is about the, okay, now next property, electrophoresis. Electrophoresis, that is when the colloidal salt, or you can say rather salt, colloidal solution is kept under the influence of the electrical field, and you know in the solution is kept in electric field, you have a negative and positive terminal, anode and cathode, and when the current is passed through it, then colloidal solutions which have a particular kind of charge on them, so opposite charge will be moving to the different electrode, negative ions will be moving to the positive terminal and positive ion will be moving to the negative terminal, and so at anode and cathode, cations and anions from your salt will be migrating away, and this phenomena of moving colloidal particle towards the different electrode of the opposite charge, that is called electrophoresis. So because of this property, some uses applications can be made. So that is about electrophoresis. And now next we will do protection of colloids. Okay, now protection of colloids. This is done for lyophobic, because lyophilic salts, they don't need protection because they are already stable, and lyophobic salt you have studied, they are unstable, so they need protection, means they are protected from being precipitated, from being coagulated, and so for that lyophilic salt is used. When lyophobic salt is having some impurities of electrolyte, that will cause their precipitation. So we are adding some lyophilic salt into it, and that lyophilic salt, it is like that. If you take, this is suppose the mole particle of lyophobic salt, and if this lyophilic salt is added, it is believed that lyophilic salt is getting adsorbed on the surface and forming a covering around it, and so this is a lyophilic salt. This is cutting connection between electrolyte and the lyophobic salt, and since these two are not in contact because of this lyophilic salt, so the precipitation of lyophilic salt is somewhat checked, it is not taking place. And so this lyophilic salt which is added into this to prevent the coagulation of the lyophilic salt, such lyophilic salts are called protective salt. So protective salts are your lyophilic salts, which are when added to lyophobic salt, then lyophobic salt, although they have your impurity of electrolyte, they don't get coagulated. And for that the gold number has been introduced, and this gold number is the expression. I have written down all these points. So gold number is the expression of the power of protection of the lyophilic salt. Lyophilic salt is also called protective salt, and this how much is the power that is expressed in terms of gold number. So if you just understand how you can define, if gold salt you have 10 ml which has impurities of sodium chloride, how much that is your 10% of 10 ml, the 10% NaCl and 10 ml of this is if added to your gold salt, so that much is there. And so if you have taken 10 ml of this, then to this you will add some lyophilic salt like gelatin. So that how much gelatin you are adding, there is very little amount of gelatin in milligrams, how much you are adding, that will be called its a gold number. because that little amount of lyophilic salt, gelatin which you are adding, that will protect this gold salt to be precipitated, although sodium chloride will be there. So here the definition is that it is the minimum amount of in milligrams of protective salt which is just sufficient to prevent the coagulation of 10 ml of gold salt on addition of 1 ml of 10 ml. 10 ml of 10% NaCl. It's 1 ml. 1 ml of here it is 1 ml. 1 ml of 10% NaCl. So you can learn these all things here, and then I teach you two more topics you have to cover. Emulsions, only definition. Emulsions are liquid colloidal dispersion, and in this colloidal dispersion taking place between two immiscible liquids which are not soluble, like oil in water, oil in milk, in which one liquid acts as a dispersion medium and the other as a dispersion phase. You must have heard about mayonnaise which you use in pizza and all. So that is nothing but emulsion of milk and oil. Now surfactant. Surfactant is your surface additive agent, a substance which tends to reduce the surface tension. It reduces the surface tension of a liquid in which it is dissolved. So the only definition of these two you have to do. An application of salt, that you will do from the book. So that's all. We'll start the next chapter, that is chemical kinetics. So till then, bye.